My dog, 3 years old, a rescue. The best decision I ever made. For the last 6 months, something has been off. Low energy, itchy skin. That look dogs give you when they want to play, but they just don't. I was feeding him premium kibble, the expensive stuff. The bag with the happy dog on the front and the words complete nutrition in big, bold letters. Then I read the ingredients. Really read them. Chicken byproduct meal, corn gluten meal, animal fat preserved with mixed tocopherols. I didn't know what half of those words meant, so I asked my veterinarian. She looked at me, looked at my dog, then said something I was not prepared for. Most commercial dog food is legally allowed to be nutritionally incomplete as long as the label says for intermittent feeding only. Your dog has been eating snacks his whole life. That was the moment. Not anger, not panic, just clarity. My dog deserved better, and I had no idea what better even looked like. I didn't just decide to cook for my dog. That would have been reckless. I asked my veterinarian to design a meal plan, full nutritional analysis, every calorie accounted for, every vitamin, every mineral. The Association of American Feed Control Officials, AAFCO, has strict standards for what makes a dog food complete and balanced. Most homemade dog food fails those standards. Most pet parents who cook for their dogs are accidentally starving them of nutrients. I was not going to be that person. My veterinarian, let's call her Dr. Chen, spent 2 hours on this. She calculated my dog's resting energy requirement, his body condition score, his activity level, his age, his breed-specific risks. Golden retrievers are prone to dilated cardiomyopathy that's linked to taurine deficiency. Taurine comes from animal protein. Every decision mattered. The plan was 30 days, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Every ingredient vet approved, every portion weighed on a kitchen scale, and I would document everything. Energy levels, coat condition, stool quality. Yes, I said stool quality. That's what loving a dog looks like. Day 1 started with a trip to the grocery store. Not the pet store, the grocery store. That was the first sign that something had changed. Let me show you what vet-approved meals actually look like, because I promise you it is not what I expected. Breakfast, lean ground turkey, cooked, drained, cooled. Pumpkin puree, not pie filling, just pure pumpkin. A sprinkle of calcium carbonate because homemade food doesn't have ground bone. A squirt of salmon oil for omega-3s. My dog stared at the bowl like I had betrayed him. Then he sniffed it. Then he inhaled it in 11 seconds. 11 seconds. His kibble took 30 seconds. He didn't like the kibble. He tolerated it. There is a difference. Lunch. This was the surprise. Dr. Chen said most dogs don't need lunch, but my dog has high metabolism and gets anxious when his stomach is empty, so lunch became a small meal. Sardines packed in water, no salt added, handful of fresh blueberries, a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt. He learned the sound of the sardine can opening within 3 days. Day 3. That sound meant more to him than his name. Dinner, the main event. Chicken thighs, boneless, skinless, boiled, then chopped. Beef liver, measured precisely because too much liver causes vitamin A toxicity. Spinach, lightly steamed. A quarter cup of cooked white rice. And the secret ingredient that Dr. Chen insisted on, taurine powder. Every single meal. Because golden retrievers, because DCM, because I was not going to accidentally kill my dog with love. The first 3 days were chaos. He didn't trust the food. I didn't trust myself. Every meal felt like a science experiment. Then day 4 happened. Day 4. He woke up before me. That had never happened, not once in 3 years. I came downstairs and he was sitting by his bowl, not whining, not scratching, just waiting, patient, certain, like he finally understood that something good was about to happen. I cried a little. I'm not embarrassed about that. By day 7, his coat changed. He's a golden retriever. He always had a good coat, but this was different, shinier, softer. My neighbor asked what shampoo I was using. I told her salmon oil and a complete amino acid profile. She looked at me like I had 3 heads. Day 10, the scratching stopped. He had been scratching his ears for months. The vet said allergies. We tried medications, we tried special shampoos, nothing worked. 10 days of whole food and the scratching just stopped.
I don't know how to explain that, except to say that his body was finally getting what it needed. Not more, not less, exactly what it needed. Day 15, I weighed him. He had lost 1.2 pounds, which sounds bad, but it wasn't. Dr. Chen had warned me that his body condition score was a 6 out of 9, slightly overweight. 1.2 pounds put him at 5, ideal. He wasn't losing weight because he was starving. He was losing weight because he was finally eating the right amount of the right things. This was the moment I realized I had never seen my dog at his actual healthy weight before. Not once in 3 years. That hit me harder than anything else. Day 20. Something changed in his eyes. I know that sounds like nonsense, but if you have a dog, you know exactly what I mean. The dullness was gone. That distant look, the one I had convinced myself was just, he's a calm dog, was replaced by presence, engagement. He was in the room with me, not just near me. Day 22. A stranger stopped me on a walk, asked if my dog was a puppy. He's 3 years old. That stranger thought he was under a year, because of how he moved, because of his coat, because of the life in his face. I said no, he's just finally eating real food, and the stranger looked deeply uncomfortable. Worth it. Day 25. The blood work came back. Dr. Chen ran a full senior panel, even though he's not senior, because she wanted objective data. Every single marker improved. Kidney function, liver enzymes, red blood cell count. His taurine levels went from borderline low to optimal. The vet said, and I quote, "Whatever you're doing, don't stop." Day 30. The last meal of the experiment. I made him chicken liver and spinach with a raw quail egg on top, a celebration meal. He ate it in 8 seconds. Then he looked at me. Then he licked the bowl clean. Then he put his head in my lap and sighed. That sigh. Not a tired sigh, a content sigh. My body feels good sigh. 30 days. That's all it took. Not months, not years. 30 days of food that was designed for his biology instead of for a shelf life. And here's the thing I cannot stop thinking about. I didn't do anything special. I followed a vet's instructions, I weighed food on a scale, I cooked chicken and chopped spinach. Any pet parent can do this. Most just don't know they should. Let me give you the data, because I tracked everything. Energy levels. Day 1, baseline, 4 out of 10. Day 30, 9 out of 10. That is not subjective. That is me rating his energy at the same time every day after the same morning walk on the same route. He went from lagging behind to pulling ahead. Coat condition. Vet assessment day 1, dry, some dandruff, moderate shedding. Day 30, glossy, no dandruff, shedding reduced by an estimated 60%. Stool quality. Yes, we're doing this. Day 1, soft, inconsistent, difficult to pick up. Day 30, firm, consistent, easy to pick up. Sorry, but if you have a dog, you know why this matters. Weight. Starting 74.2 pounds. Day 30, 71.8 pounds. Body condition score from 6 to 5. Ideal. Blood work. Taurine levels increased 22%. Kidney values improved 15%. Liver enzymes decreased 18%. Dr. Chen said she had never seen such significant improvement in 30 days from diet alone. The cost, because people always ask. I spent an average of $4.80 per day on his food. My premium kibble cost $3.20 per day. For $1.60 more per day, $48 more per month, I gave my dog 30 days of optimal nutrition instead of adequate nutrition. The question is not whether I can afford $1.60 a day. The question is whether I can afford not to. For my dog, that answer was clear by day 4. Okay, the truth. The part nobody puts in the Instagram reel. This is hard. Not hard like climbing a mountain. Hard like doing dishes at 10 p.m. when you're exhausted. Hard like remembering to defrost the chicken liver. Hard like standing in the grocery store at 7 a.m. on a Sunday because you ran out of spinach. I spent about 90 minutes every 3 days on meal prep. Chopping, weighing, cooking, portioning, freezing, labeling. I'm fortunate to work from home. If I had a commute, if I had kids, if I had a second job, I don't know if I could have done this. Also, your dog will not understand why you were cooking for yourself and not for him. My dog sat in the kitchen and stared at me every single meal for 30 days. The guilt was real. And here's the hardest part. The first week, I was terrified I was hurting him. Every time he looked at me differently, I thought I had poisoned him. Every time he refused to eat, which happened 3 times in the first week, I panicked. Dr. Chen talked me off the ledge every single time. So no, this is not easy. This is not for everyone. And if you cannot do this, if you feed your dog Kibble and that is what works for your life, I am not here to judge you. I fed my dog Kibble for 3 years. He survived. He was fine. But fine is not the same as thriving. And for me, for my dog, I finally know the difference. I can't unknow it. Will I keep feeding him this way? Yes, every single day. Will I feed him vet-approved meals forever? Yes, but I will also be realistic. There will be days when I'm sick, days when I travel, days when life happens and he gets high-quality canned food or even, gasp, kibble. Perfection is the enemy of good.